Hey everyone, what's going on? Rob from Captain Rob Games here. Now, if you messed around on the PTB or looked up what the Cenobite Pinhead's power, Summons of Pain, does, you might be pretty confused. There's just this giant word vomit of 7 paragraphs, and I'll be honest with you, after I read it, I had absolutely no idea what he did. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to break down in this video what his power does, how you should use it, show you a little bit of counterplay that Survivor has, how it looks from Survivor's perspective, and I'll show you some in-game clips, because this description just ain't doing it. So, you know the deal. If you like this content, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let's get straight into it. So Pinhead's power is functionally a combination of Nurse's power and Deathslinger's power. So when I say Nurse's, I mean that you're picking a spot to place an object, but instead of teleporting to that place, what you're doing is you're actually putting a glyph there, as you'll see right here. Now from this moment on, it's kind of similar to the Deathslinger power, where you're trying to aim it at a survivor and hit them. If you successfully hit a survivor, they will be immediately grabbed by a hook, and 2 other hooks will then shoot out at them. And each of these will put a basically stronger and stronger slow. So the first will put a pretty substantial slow, and that'll make the second and the third to hit you. So usually if you get hit by his power, all 3 chains will grab you. Now this is a very strong slow, and the killer then tries to catch you out of position and hit you, similar to what Clown Gas would do or the Freddy Nightmare Puddles. Now as a survivor, you can pull them out of you, and alternatively you can use terrain to 1, block the chains, and 2, break the chains once they've been applied to you. So those are 2 tactics that you have. This is what it will look like from the survivor's perspective when Pinhead is chasing you. You might drop a pallet, and then he'll place his glyph near you, and he will attempt to shoot a chain out from the glyph to hit you, aiming to slow you down so significantly that he will be able to hit you throughout the loop. Now, this is not very game-breaking or game-changing or even really that strong of a power. But if you look on the left side of the screen where the survivors' portraits are, you will see that there's actually a secondary power, and this is where a lot of his strength comes from. Now, there is a dark blue circle. It starts out empty. As the game progresses, it will start to fill with this sort of like electric-looking status bar. Now this status bar takes about 90 seconds to fill up, but if it successfully fills up, your entire team will then be attacked by a chain hunt. Now a chain hunt is a very disruptive mechanic that will pull you off generators and pull you off totems and whatnot. And basically those little circle things in the sky that spawn as your second and third hooks that attack you, those will be spawning consistently every maybe like 5 seconds or so. They will just come out of nowhere, and they will reach out and try to grab you as you are running. Now this is going to make it very difficult to do objectives, and that means that we need to stop this mechanic. We have chains spawning, trying to grab us. They're preventing us from doing generators. As you can see, she gets pulled off. Now, how do we get rid of this chain hunt mechanic? How do we reset it? There is a thing called the box. Now, one survivor can go and pick up the box. While I have this box, you will see that my fellow survivors are no longer affected by chain hunt. If I am able to sit here and finish the solve lament configuration like I did, you will now notice that all of the survivors on the left side of the screen are no longer affected by the chain hunt. So in other words, finding this box on the ground, which is an item to pick up, and solving it clears chain hunt. Now, what stops people from basically picking up this box and holding it and never solving it? While you are the one holding it, you will continue to be griefed by these chains, and you will also be oblivious, making it significantly easier for you to be caught by the killer. Now, there is also a way that the killer can interact with this box. Now, while I am playing killer, you can see that the Nancy has the box, and when she's attempting to solve it, my entire screen will be surrounded by electricity. This indicates that the box is currently being solved. When the killer knows that the survivor is solving the box, they have the option to use their alternate button, so for PC that's going to be your control, to teleport to the survivor. Now this effectively does the same thing as just letting them solve the box. It clears everyone's chain hunt. However, you get to teleport and then immediately begin chase on whichever survivor had the box. So you can maybe look and say, well, the survivor that currently has the box on the left side is indicated with the golden square, and that's a survivor that I know is on 2 hooks. I would like to chase them. So if you see that it's being solved, you can then choose to teleport to them and take up chase on them. Another interesting mechanic is that the Cenobite can actually pick up this box if he finds it on the ground. Now, he will not have an aura that indicates where it is, but should he find it on the ground, it will immediately activate a chain hunt for all survivors that are alive and not on a hook, and it will instantly attack them as if he has hit them with his power, making them scream and revealing their location. So leading this killer to his own box could be a pretty big issue. And this also occurs if the survivor who is holding the box gets found by the killer and then gets downed. If they get downed, the chain hunt will immediately begin. So you do want to make sure that you're keeping this box away from the hands of the killer, because if you don't, he will become very strong and put your entire team in a chain hunt, which is going to make it difficult to do generators and also difficult to heal. So to recap, solving the box will almost always be a good thing for your team as it will reset chain hunt. But you do want to make sure that if the killer chooses to teleport to you and chase you, that you are healthy and not on your second hook and ready to die and whatnot. Regardless of whether or not you actually finish solving the box or the killer teleports to you, it's considered a win-win for the reset. If, however, he finds you organically without teleporting to you and can prevent you from solving the box, successfully downs you or picks up the box himself, that is a very bad situation that is going to hurt your entire team and then require you to effectively go and find a new box which will have a randomly generated location. So you basically just restart the whole process, but now you're in chain hunt, which is going to be very brutal for your team. So that is the general gist of what Pinhead does. I really hope this helped, because I know until I started playing a couple games with and against him, I didn't fully understand what he did. He has a fairly confusing and complex power compared to a lot of the other standard just chase down people, hook 'em mechanic killers. But I think this level of complexity is very interesting. I like it a lot. I do think it's going to be significantly harder for solo queues to play against him. I think that Survive with Friends are going to kind of breeze through against Pinheads, but he will be very strong against solo queues. So hope you guys learned something from this video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and I'll see y'all next time.